Hi fantasy managers and welcome to FPL Team Talk. In this video I'm going to go through my transfer plans and watch list for game week 3. So spoiler alert, I'm going to be concentrating a lot on Nkunku replacements, some of those defenders that are causing issues including Lewis Hall and Quansah. So if you enjoy these sort of videos, please give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime, let's take a look. Let's get straight into it then. Christopher Nkunku is the main issue. I am a Nkunku owner and he has dropped in price overnight. So he's now 6.4, which is mega annoying because he can't now move to another 6.4 price point. So yeah, first thing I'd say is I'm not going to say it was a bad move going for Nkunku. All the noise around him before the start of the season with Maresca talking about how flexible he is across the front forward line, can play anywhere. He had good minutes, he scored goals. I just think it's been a little bit unlucky. There's unforeseen circumstances. Felix coming in, Neto, and then Madueke getting a hat-trick. Just feels like everything's conspired against Nkunku. And you know what? Wouldn't surprise me later on in the season if he does regain his place and starts scoring goals. But right now, yeah, if you're like me, you've got the likes of Quansah, Hall, Solanke, you've got lots of other various issues that have cropped up. He feels like a player that just has to go. There's just too much indecision. He feels like he's quite a way down the pecking order now. Felix and Neto came on before him. Madueke got a hat-trick, so he's not going anywhere. So despite the fact the fixtures and the numbers he's been putting up are fairly decent, I just think he has got to go. He can't. He's just going to be a constant rotation risk, and I cannot rely on him starting games. So for me, unfortunately, Nkunku is just going to have to be a sell. Just going to have to put it one down to one of those things. I don't even know what lessons to learn. I suppose maybe at the start of the season you think someone's nailed, but you never know. But I think I knew that at the start of the season anyway. 6.5 was a good price point. Still think it was a good option. Just hasn't worked off. So let's have a look at some of those different options available to us. One of the players which I already own, I just think if you don't already, you need to go to. He's one of the top players that I would be putting on as a replacement for him, is Morgan Rogers. He's got great minutes so far for Villa. He's played 90 minutes in both games. His XGI is decent, even though he's had tough fixtures, West Ham and then Arsenal at home, best defence in the league. His fixtures coming up look great. And I just think he's playing in a very advanced position for a high scoring size at 5 million. It feels too much of a gift to really pass over. He looks really good. I like him. The other one you could go for on the Villa side, Leon Bailey. And his figures, not as good. He does carry, I would say, a slight... his threat, I would say, is probably be more sort of a goal threat. So that's the only thing I can give in his favour. Who would outscore over the next 4 or 5 weeks? Wouldn't surprise me if Leon Bailey does, but it wouldn't surprise me also if Morgan Rogers got more points. So just for that, and the fact that he's 1.5 cheaper, I think I'll just go for Morgan Rogers. Just think he looks a better all-round player. We know how good Bailey is, and maybe that goes in his favour because we don't know, a bit of an unknown quantity for Rogers. But for me, I'm just going Rogers over Bailey. One of the obvious choices, I think, is to just make the sideways move to Madueke. We know how great he was in the Wolves game, looked brilliant. He is also 6.4, so he's gone down in price. I feel sorry if you got rid of Madueke, as a lot of people must have done, to bring, because he's gone down in price, to now go, and then he gets a hat-trick. So I could make just an easy sideways move from Nkunku to Madueke. Just feels very knee-jerk. That's my only thing. Maybe I shouldn't stop me from doing it. It seems so obvious, but it just seems too obvious that I shouldn't, that to go for. It just seems almost so boring. It still feels a little bit of a risk because it just feels that there's so many options, and Nkunku, Felix, Neto, all potentially taking points off him, minutes off him. I just feel like it's so much risk with the Champions League starting off. But at the moment, you'd say he'd have to start against Palace at home, and he just looked so good. Maresca will be desperate to keep winning. He's, questions about the squad. Will he just keep Madueke playing? I just think he will. If you're wildcarded in game week 4 or 5 or 6, I think he looks like a great medium-term punt. If you want to keep your options open like me, I just worry about his minutes. But maybe he can do damage in that Palace game at home. They did look good, but I'm a bit unsure about how... Did they look good, or did Wolves just defend really poorly, or maybe it was a bit of both? Madueke, though, just easy move across. Have to check the prices. Yeah, I'm still... It seems too obvious to me. I don't know. It just feels knee-jerk and too obvious. He wouldn't be a player I'd be looking at before the game. But then if you're nailed in that Chelsea side, but then is he really nailed? I'm just rambling now. But I do think Madueke is a genuine contender to move. I think I'd go Rodgers first, Madueke possibly second. The other one you could still go for is Doku. His minutes have been really good so far. He's somehow managed to come away with no goals and assists. The next 2 fixtures look decent, and he's just a constant threat. If his minutes continue to be good, then yeah, I think he's a great option. He does have more of an assist than a goal threat, I'd only say. And at 6.5, it's away in that Man City side that's quite cheap. And we know what that Man City side can do. So he looks an option. I wouldn't say that Savio again doesn't look an option either. We do know Foden will come back at some point though. But while he wasn't even on the bench in the last game, you don't feel that he's going to start the next one. But it does feel like you're booking a transfer in. And again, it's just... Overall, I'd probably go for Doku over Savio. But Man City just is always a problem. If you've got the extra money, I do think Jota could be definitely one to look at. He looks really impressive at the moment. He scored in the first game. Overall, stats look really good. 7.6. Fixtures look decent. In fact, the away at Man U would not put me off. Just injuries and possible rotation again. It's common with all these problems, you would have to say. The other choice that I think is tempting is Minte. The only thing again that puts me off with him is minutes look good. He looks first choice. His overall XGI looks fantastic as well. It's just Arsenal away next. I don't know if I want to bring Minte in for Arsenal away. If I had Nkunku, I am saving myself 0.9, but I'm not really getting many returns for Minte. I'm almost, don't know, would I back Nkunku to come off the bench and get a return over Minte at Arsenal? Possibly. The other one as a choice, I think, is one with Matoma. I would definitely go for, but he's £1.1 million more, so he might not be achievable. But he looks better. And the fact that we got Minte, we don't know what's happening with Dingra. Longer term, those fixtures look decent. I think if I was looking at Minte, maybe I'll just hold off for a week. But those are the main options. I think in order, I'm definitely going to go for Morgan Rodgers first. Bailey is possibly an option. If you've got the money, definitely go to Jota. Otherwise, Madueke would be the choice. So another player that is a little bit of a concern, not only Quansah is obviously lost his place, we've got Lewis Hall was dropped at the weekend for Lloyd Kelly. Would have to be said that Kelly did come off halfway through. Well, no, sorry, halfway through the second half. Lewis Hall came in and he looked pretty decent. They looked a much better side with him in. So it is a possibility that he plays the next game. But again, if I've got to rely with no Quansah on Hall playing, it leaves me in a bit of a situation. What also worries me is Dan Burn. When Shaw comes back, Burn can go out wide. Trippier then played as well. Livramento you've got playing on the other side, but he can play on that side as well. So lots of ifs, buts and maybes. So I'm not sure about Hall's longer term minutes. If I get word or we hear from press conference that he could play, I think I'll just stick with him. But if I need a defender, can I take that chance? At 4.5, there's not many sort of exciting options to go for. One of them, I think, especially given the problems with Nkunku and Quansah, I think I just want to go for someone that is just going to be absolutely nailed. And I can't get more nailed than the likes of Ezri Konsa. He doesn't look very exciting. He won't get you many returns, but the fixtures look decent and clean sheets possibly for Villa as well. He looks decent. The other one I would possibly go for, who's got a bit more of attacking threat, is Max Kilman. Got an assist at the weekend, but his fixtures don't look great. But he would just be a set and forget. Man City at home, not a game I'd want to bring him in for. Fulham away, Chelsea at home, Brentford, not the best. I'll probably be a bit erring towards Konsa. And then finally, depends how you feel about that Chelsea. He obviously hasn't got 3 goals. At Chelsea defence, Palace at home, Bournemouth away, West Ham. They've got good fixtures. He's not very exciting, Levi Colwell. But if they can sort their defence out, could he be a good clean sheet option? I think there's possibilities there, especially when Palace are not particularly scoring freely at the moment as well. So fixtures look good. Levi Colwell 4.5, absolutely nailed, set and forget. Mazraoui I have considered as well, but again I just think those fixtures at home to Liverpool is not one I'd want to go to just yet. That's it for this one then. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below who you are thinking of bringing in for game week 3. Are there any players that you think I've overlooked or should be considering for my team? In the meantime, we'll come back at you with a team selection video before the deadline, so make sure you hit that notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime, speak to you soon.